Now, as far as minimizing perimeter, once you get to this point, you've done a lot of the hard work as far as arranging the formula. You've set your window. From here, it becomes a very easy problem because our calculator can do a lot of this work for us. What I would want to do here, once I have this graph, I would hit second and calculate, which is right above trace. Now, what you notice is I have a series of things that I could go ahead and perform here, and what I'd like to do is the number 3, which is going to tell me a minimum. So I'll hit enter on number 3, and it's going to ask me for the left boundary. We need to understand is normally our spider here starts towards the center of our graph. What I need to understand is this is not the left. And another interesting thing to note is if I'm looking for the minimum, I'm looking for a low point. That low point is going to occur somewhere in this area. So as I'm setting my boundaries, I need to be thinking of, I need to get a boundary out here and maybe one over here and look between these areas for my minimum value, which is what we're going to tell our calculator to do. A minimum value. Let me run through that one more time and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, we're going to go to our calculate. We're going to go to 3. It's going to ask us for our left boundary. We go ahead and move it over. Okay, that should be pretty suitable. And I'll hit enter. I'm going to go to my right boundary, so I'll just move it over to the right. Now I'm still down very low, so I want to keep going over a little bit. Okay. Now I'm probably going past that minimum point now, so I really don't need to continue too much further. Okay, now look what it's telling me here. It says guess, then I hit enter and it tells me the minimum. So what it tells me is the minimum value of x, which is our width, that will allow me to have an area of 200 is 14, and I'm going to do some rounding here. I will say 0.14. Okay? Now what I'm going to notice is, like I said earlier, this is my width. Okay? Now to find my length, I'm going to need to take my area and divide it by x, and that's going to give me my length. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll go ahead to the calculator and I'll quit out of this menu. And what I'll do is I will take my minimum x value. I'll take 200 and I will divide it by 14.14. And if you notice, the value that returns to me is very similar. So I will have a width of 14.14 and a length of 14.14. Okay? Now notice this is a square. And oftentimes what you'll notice is a rectangle with the least perimeter constrained by a particular area will most oftentimes be a square. Okay? Now that's the process that we go through each time we try to minimize perimeter. Okay?